Hi guys, so today I just wanted to share a little bit more about my story, my journey. I'm really excited today because so many things are happening that are just so incredible. And I went through some moments yesterday, last night, where I had some fear rising up, old fears, old stories, and things that I've seen before, and experienced emotions that I've experienced before, and I didn't quite like it, and I could see that it was my ego, and I knew what I had to do, so I had to come back to just feeling the aliveness in my body and just being aware that my ego is doing what it does. And but it kind of had a little bit of a heaviness around it. And so I just kept at awakening and becoming aware that my ego was playing its games. And it wasn't too hard to see it, fortunately. And well, I say fortunate, but that's what I've been working towards, so it's working. And but then this morning I had an incredible conversation with someone who I am helping through their awakening journey, and it just brought me right back to seeing how we have no control over what's going on. And the more I see it, the more excited I am, the more free I feel, the more liberated I am. Because I realized that the only thing that's been getting in the way of getting everything I want is me, the ego me. All the limitations and things that I've placed on myself, all the beliefs I've had about myself that I can't have whatever, or all things we discussed before. I don't deserve it, I'm not worthy of it, story. And the more I walk this path and the further I go along in this journey, I just see more and more that I have no control over what happens. I can try and control everything. I can try my hardest to make things happen the way that I want them to. And the harder I try, the less they happen. The more effort I put into making things happen my way, the more they kind of backfire and blow up and go in the opposite direction in exactly the way I didn't want them to go. And just again, in this conversation, I was reminded how freeing it is and how liberating it is to really hand over control. Hand over that control to consciousness, to the universe, to the one thing that's actually going on here. I'm part of that one thing. I am that one thing. So I don't have to control it. It is happening, it is unfolding perfectly. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So I don't know if you can hear the drilling that's going on in the background, but my neighbours have been renovating, and there's been some drilling and noise and stuff, and normally I would have been so frustrated by this point that I would have been knocking on their door and telling them how I don't like it, and how I don't want all this stuff happening, all the dust and all the noise, and it's getting in my way. But really, it's not. It is a part of what I'm experiencing. It's not getting in my way. It just is. It is the way. And it's okay, it's perfectly okay. It might be a distraction. It might not be exactly the way I'd like it to be, according to how my ego wants everything. But ultimately, it's okay. So I'm just more and more aware of how when I hand over control, things happen so much easier. Things flow beautifully, and I see so much more of the synchronicities and of the flow. By not controlling it, by not trying to control it, I can see it. I can be in it, I can be a part of it. I can be one with it. I don't need to keep fighting. I don't need to be stressed about it or anxious about it or anything like that. This moment comes, and it comes how it's going to come. And I can fight it, or I can choose to go with it. And I can tell you from experience, the more I choose to go with it, the more peaceful and blissful it is. So look out for those synchronicities. Look out for those moments of freedom. Choose to go with the flow. Because the more that you fight it, the more it's going to fight back. So realizing that it's just the ego that is trying to control. It's not the real you, it's not your true self. And when you awaken, those issues and concerns and challenges are not there anymore. When I went into this journey, I knew very little about it, if anything at all. And I was just drawn. I was drawn into it and had my awakening session with my friend and mentor, Sheldon Fitzgerald. And he's also guided me along this journey when I've gone back into ego. And the more that I've followed my journey, the far more beautiful it's become, and the far more easy it's become, and far more easy. Wow, brilliant English there. Easier. It's become much easier. And every day I just get to enjoy it more and more. And I see the ego, I see its tricks, I see its games. And I just bring myself back to awareness, back to consciousness, back to awakening. And seeing it happening in the people around me, the people that I'm guiding through it, the people that I'm supporting in their journey, the more I'm reminded for myself, the more I'm brought into the awake space myself. And the more beautiful it becomes, because we're all going through this journey together in our unique ways, at at our own pace, but we support each other, and just seeing other people, seeing their synchronicities and seeing the magic happening in their lives and seeing them light up the moment that they see it. It lights me up even more. And it's such a beautiful thing to share and to experience together. So if anyone is looking for support, reach out. Reach out to whoever it is that you feel can help you in this. The more we become aware of the synchronicities, of everything happening around us, the more we can hand over control. The less stress we have, the less anxiety we have, the less attachment we have to the past or to the future. And every moment just becomes so rich and so full and so exciting. Watching the unfolding and not knowing what's coming next. There's such excitement to it, and there's such joy and beauty in the process. And there's so much love. You know, so many of our experiences we have a story around or about. So all the things that's happening in our lives, we have this story of whether it's good or bad, or right or wrong, or dark or light. Should be happening, shouldn't be happening. We look at the world in such a dualistic way, but ultimately it's not. It's not that way. In this moment, we can have thousands, hundreds of thousands of stories about this very moment, but none of them are real. I could have the story that the drilling that was happening earlier shouldn't be happening, but it is. So how can I say it shouldn't be? That's just my ego. It's just a story. And it's these stories that are holding us back. It's these stories that are keeping us attached. And we don't need them. It takes so much effort to be in the stories than it does to awaken. We don't need all of that. We don't need to live that way. We can allow ourselves to become free. Allow ourselves to become who we truly are. And that's my wish for you. My wish for you is that you start to see the magic, start to see the synchronicities, and start to have the conversations about it that I know you've been dying to have. Enjoy this moment, be in this moment. And the more that you are truly present, the people with you will become present too. So enjoy it. It is a gift. Have a beautiful day.